Happy New Year, everyone. 2025 in the books, 2026 looking very strong right out the gate with Lorwyn Eclipsed. Looks like a very exciting set. Can't wait to be able to get into it. Looks very exciting. I can't wait for a pre-release later this evening. And let's just get right into it and let's talk a little bit about how 2025 went this past year. So 2025 was a very interesting year, I feel, for Magic. A lot of it was Universes Beyond for the very first time. Way too much, in the opinion of a lot of people in the community. Not too many people were that excited over the fact that we didn't spend a whole lot of time in the Magic universe. I've really started getting invested in the Magic story over the last handful of years, so the fact that they started kind of like venturing away from the story was not that great. But let's take a look at some of the sets that we had over the course of the past year. We started right off very strong in January with Innistrad Remastered. I personally really loved Innistrad Remastered. I thought it was an amazing set. Really great way to be able to play with classic cards from over a decade ago. The original Innistrad was a set that came out right around the time that I kind of took a break from Magic. So it was really great to be able to go back and draft that again. I was fortunate enough to have a LGS close to me that was doing a pre-release draft. And I was able to have a lot of fun with that. And coincidentally, I ended up running into Tori the Vast from ScryBabies and Steve Stillman. And Steve Stillman actually ended up being in my pod. And I was very nervous kind of going into it because I know that he's a very, very good professional Magic player. And I ended up getting paired up with him in my last round of my draft. Luckily, I ended up drafting a Hullbreaker Horror, so I was able to actually beat him, but he was actually a lot of fun to be able to chat with in between rounds. He got me turned on to Freerin, which is starting back up again today, in case you watch anime. Really great series. Cannot recommend that enough.
I'm just thinking about I'll sack 5 to flip Westwell Abbey.
Yep. I will flash it out. Zell's Conscripts.
Oh my god.
I will take Ormondal.
Yeah, I think I just
you might as well leave it out.
Yeah, because that's...
So it's 10.
Yeah, that's 19 right there. That's...
Alright, you can...
Yep. Good games.
After that, we moved on to Ether Drift. Ether Drift was a little bit of a flat line, I feel. It was really not an exciting set to draft, not an exciting set to do a pre-release for. I did a pre-release for Ether Drift, and it was really not a good experience. Cards I felt were just very underpowered. I liked the idea of adding more vehicles into everything, but it just didn't really work out all that well. Their synergies weren't quite there yet. I feel like it's a little bit better suited these days because of all the different tap synergies that we have with a lot of the different sets that have been coming out recently. This set has a lot of the merfolks that benefit more from being tapped. So maybe... interesting game. Con, for anyone who has never been to any sort of a convention before, it's really a great experience to be able to go and do anything with that. So past that point, well actually before we get past that point, while I was at MagicCon Atlanta, I ended up meeting a couple of members of the Howling Salt Mine. I ended up meeting Tony and Mike. Really great guys. When I came back home, I decided I wanted to support them on Patreon. I wanted to interact with them a little bit more. So I joined their Patreon, and within a couple of days, I coincidentally ended up getting into a CEDH game against Mike, playing his Sisay deck that he's talked about a lot on his podcasts, on other people's programs, and I've seen it played a couple of times. Luckily, I was able to actually come out with a win. It was really, really kind of impressive that I was able to pull something off, because it was with my janky little CDH deck. But it was a really fun game. They're really great guys over at the Howling Salt Mine. Coincidentally, Tony's actually from the town that I live in right now, New Jersey. But past everything with that, we ended up moving on to Avatar at the end of the year. Again, a very well done Universes Beyond. Very flavorful, very fun set to have. I did not do any sort of a pre-release for it because the week that Avatar came out was the same week as PAX Unplugged in Philadelphia. It's an event that this is now my second year going to it. Very fun event. I love going to PAX. It was a huge event. I didn't do any avatar drafts over the course of the time there. I did do a chaos draft, which was a lot of fun. Ended up in a pod with BZ from the Nitpicking Nerds, but I did not get a chance to play him. He did not have the same record as I did. But over the course of the weekend, I did get a chance to play against Lewis Stardust from ScryBabies. And I was lucky enough to be able to get a win with my Urtek Commander deck, which is one of my personal favorites, and had a lot of fun with that. Really great game, really great person to be able to play against. And PAX altogether is just an amazing, amazing event. If you love board gaming, tabletop gaming, great event, particularly if you're on the East Coast. It's really a lot of fun. You can find pretty much anything to be able to play there that's tabletop or board gaming related, card gaming related, party games. It's really just an amazing event. Now let's see how we do to close out this year. Ooh, good Shockland right there with Steam Vents. Another of the full art Lava Leaper. Immolation. Ooh, and the Spine Rock Tyrant. That is pretty good. That is not bad at all. That was a really good opening. I'm very excited for this set. I'm actually a little too excited for this set, to be perfectly honest with you. I want to kind of keep going, so I do think I'm going to keep going, and I'm going to keep going big, if nothing else. So let's keep this going then. Now, there's a few reasons why I wanted to go and get a collector's box of this set. First of all, first set of the year, and everyone is so excited for it. This is one of the most highly anticipated sets of originally last year, but it got bumped off of last year for this year. So everyone's really excited for going back to Lorwyn to experience this set, and everything looks absolutely incredible with it. I love the art style, how they're going for a lot of the old school artists that have been used over the course of time with Magic, and going for that older style, that nice storybook style of everything. It just looks fantastic. Another reason is it's my birthday, and so I wanted to treat myself a little bit. So this set is my birthday gift to myself. And like I said, it's just a very fun looking set. So I'm really excited to be able to get into this a little bit more. And then also, I didn't want to just talk about last year, I wanted to talk about this year coming up. Because there's a lot this year. This year they are going to be doing 7 sets into Standard, no remastered sets, which I'm kind of bummed about. I really like the way that they did remastered sets. I loved playing Innistrad Remastered, I loved the set as a whole. And I thought that the idea of going back to previous planes and really kind of turning it into a great draftable experience is a fantastic idea. But they decided to switch it up and go for all the sets going into Standard for this year. Ooh, another Shockland. So we start off, obviously, this year with Lorwyn. Again, very exciting set. Fantastic little setup for everything. Really a amazing, amazing set. I love this art style on these special guest cards, and Devoted Druid is a fantastic card to have for it. But after we're all finished up with Lorwyn, a little too soon after we're finished up with Lorwyn, in my opinion, because we really only get a month and a half break. And then we move directly into our first Universes Beyond of the year with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Now, there's a lot of people, much like the Spider-Man set, where they're not very excited for this set, but I kind of am, to be perfectly honest with you. I'm a child of the 90s, so I grew up with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So the idea of being able to play something like that from my childhood and be able to play it in my favorite game is just a great idea. I know that the set was originally designed like the Spider-Man set was originally, in that it wasn't supposed to be a standard legal set, and they're altering it to make it standard legal. So the set itself is probably not going to be that great, but I'm going to love seeing these characters that I grew up with turned into Magic cards, and I really think that flavor-wise they're probably going to hit it pretty good, in my opinion. I know a lot of people are upset about very stupid things with the set, but I'm just excited for it. Like, I'm turning back into a child again when it comes to this, and I'm very, very excited for when that all that releases. Past Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, we move back in universe with the Secrets of Strixhaven. Now, I bought a lot of product for the original Strixhaven set. I thought it was a fun set, very underpowered. It was kind of around the time that I was getting back into Magic, so I wasn't aware of how powerful everything had gotten before then, so it was a good way to kind of get myself back into the game. And I'm excited to be able to go back to see those characters again. I really kind of, for whatever reason, fell in love with Quintorius Cand, I can't remember the name of the school, but he's one of the main mages from one of the schools. There's one of the dual-faced Shocklands, and it is a gorgeous hollowed fountain. But it was a fun little set. I'm interested to go back. I like the cliffhanger that they kind of left at the end of Lorwyn Eclipsed. There is that kind of tie-in to Strixhaven. I'm sure they'll probably go back to explore some of the students that ended up going through the adventure in Lorwyn. And they were fun characters to be able to get introduced to, so it'll be interesting to see that all come back again. Past that, we go into another Universes Beyond set with the Marvel Superhero set. This looks a little bit more fully realized than Spider-Man. I think it's going to be a lot more polished, a lot more interesting for everyone to be able to see everything. It looks a lot more flavorful, probably going to be a lot more balanced. My only issue is just that it But it'll be interesting to see what they can do with this. Hopefully it'll be kind of tying in a little bit of the story from Edge of Eternities into everything. I think it'll be an interesting, fun little adventure. And I just really love the story of Magic these days, so anything that they could do in universe, I'm very excited for it. And then we end the year with Star Trek, which is a very interesting choice for me. Or to me, I should say. It's not an IP that I was ever really that interested in. I was more of a Star Wars person than a Star Trek person. So Star Trek doesn't really appeal to me that much. I know that it's really kind of considered to be more of like a fantasy series than more of like you get fantasy fun with like a sci-fi feel to it. I'm sure that Wizards will probably do a great job with it. They seem to be really kind of like taking these outside IPs and putting people in charge of it that are excited for it, and they just really love the sets and really love the IPs they're working with. So I'm sure they'll probably do a great job with it. I'm probably not going to be doing all that much with the set. But I'm excited to see if it's going to bring more people into the game. But besides any of the sets that are coming out, there are a few conventions that I'm very excited for. First big one of the year that's going to be close enough to me is going to be SCG-Con in Richmond, Virginia. Like I've said before in any of the past videos that I've gone to, for these sorts of events, I love SCG-Cons. They're always a lot of fun. There's always so much to do. And I'm really excited for that one. Past that is going to be, hopefully I'll be able to go to Gen Con Indianapolis. I've never been to a Gen Con before. A buddy of mine has, and he says it's really an amazing experience. Gen Con is a lot of fun. Lots of really great things to do there. Lots of games to be able to play. I'd love to be able to see that first big convention that Magic went to right after its release. So hopefully I'll be able to do that. I'd love to be able to do MagicCon Atlanta again this year. I know that last year the drive down to Georgia was really kind of taxing, so I'm gonna hold off to see if I'm going to that. But it's, like I've said before, MagicCon was absolutely incredible. Really, really great. Really, really great convention. And then past that, another one of the reversible Shocklands. I love these. These are incredible. And then past that is going to be PAX Unplugged again in Philadelphia, which is always a great convention. It's so much fun. I can't speak highly enough about it. There's just so much to do. And the fact that it's right in my own backyard is awesome. It makes it so much easier for travel. And it's just a great little convention to go to. So if you're on the East Coast and you want to go and check out a great convention, definitely check out PAX Unplugged at some point. Let's see. Oko. We got all of the full art flip cards for this one. Bridget is great. Alright. This is a great start to the year. I think the set is going to be an absolute home run. Very excited to be able to do my pre-release later tonight, and I hope that all of you have a wonderful time with this set and have a great time with everything that's going to be coming out this year. And I'm going to be here every step of the way along with you, and I'm looking forward to this ride.